Um, to be fair, I think they're pretty, they're pretty unexpected. I mean, I can see here that 45% of adults had struggled to pay their energy bills. 30% paying rent or mortgages reported these two sectors being difficult to afford as well. As we've moved into a higher interest rate regime, for example, with mortgages, we've seen some of the mortgage offers that were previously locked in on lower rates be revised and repriced upwards to the higher rates, for example. So people, on a variable rate might be affected. People requiring new mortgages might be more affected as well. Rent, obviously, is shorter term leases. Landlords would look to up rent as quickly as possible. So I think from that segment, it's pretty evident and was pretty obvious as well. I think the really sad bit, though, is when we come to looking at, the disabled adults. 55% of disabled adults reported finding it difficult to afford their energy bills, and around a third found it difficult to afford their rent or mortgage payments. And, with the current sort of fiscal policy that's been occurring, where benefits were or weren't going to go up with inflation, that kind of leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
Well, it does. With all that, as you say, that we're dealing with, the mortgage rates, the energy bills, the petrol bills, and all the rest of it, people are cutting back as far as they can. If your basic groceries are going up as well, that we keep saying, don't we? It's the final straw. But people have got to be able to afford to buy the absolute basics, and this is almost 20% up is a huge increase.
No, it is, absolutely. I think there does come a time when as you mentioned, it becomes a final straw, and that tends to be when we face a bit of a demand cliff. We start to really see the extent of how far people can no longer be pushed. And that's when we really start to see the economic data, et cetera, deteriorate. I'm looking at stuff at the moment, and it does look pretty bleak across the world. And, a lot of this is due to supply chain issues. A lot of this is due to, what's going on in Ukraine. So there are many external factors here. But of course, there are factors that are due to what's going on here, with the previous interviewee mentioning the Bank of England and the Treasury not printing money, which is kind of false in the most recent context, because all of the Treasury's policies to do with COVID required the Bank of England to print. So she was kind of evading that very, very important point. We didn't have inflation to this extent when the Bank of England would simply do QE, where the money didn't actually go into the economy. But we've got inflation now once the Treasury has actually put that printed money into the economy. So I didn't really think that was very fair when I heard her say that.